Hi, loves. Welcome to a new episode of the AW Confidential podcast. Today's guest is making major waves on Broadway and beyond. Mauricio Mendoza is one of the leads in the Tony-nominated Real Women Have Curves, a show that celebrates culture, identity, and truth. And here we're all about truth. With credits spanning from Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Rookie, one of our favorite shows, by the way, East Lost High, and now a recurring role on Tyler Perry's The Oval, Mauricio is repping our comunidad with talent, pride, and purpose. Welcome, Mauricio.
Hola, hola. Thank you so much. What a beautiful intro. Thank you so much.
You are pride for us. You are doing the thing, and we're so happy to see you doing it and representing. So thank you.
Thank you.
So I have to start with Real Women Have Curves. It is all the rave. I attended a Becky G a screening of her documentary. She actually brought up Real Women Have Curves and she loved it. She said we all have to go see it.
Yeah.
So it's and I hope to get there before June 29th because it really has been praised. Now, what drew you to this story, and how has it felt to bring such cultural, rich, authentic narrative to Broadway? Because that is not the norm.
Well, I feel extremely blessed and grateful to be a part of this cast. It happened uh, without really truly expecting. I had just finished. My wife and I have a film company called True Form Films. We had just wrapped principal photography in Miami when the audition for this came up. And I was so busy with the film that when I sent the audition in, I didn't honestly kind of grasp the magnitude of what it was going to turn out to be. I just did it like every audition. You do it, and then for me, I just kind of let things go. And if they're meant to be, they're meant to be. But I will say this: um, I when I read the sides and I was doing the scene, and then I have to do the scene, and then I break into the song. It's a scene with uh, Carmen, the wife, played by Justina Machado. Machado, and
Amazing actress too.
yes, wonderful actress. And I automatically was drawn to this character. It felt so much like the person that I am. I play Raúl, the dad of Anna, played by Tatiana Cordova, and she wants to go to Columbia University, and her mother does not want her to go. She wants her to stay and help run the family business because she's the only legal um, family member, and so that's really what the whole premise of the story is their conflict in the show. I happen to come in as the dad who wants the best for his daughters. He wants them to go and fly, and so the scene is really a contrast of this marriage in a conversation that needs to happen in the play. So when I did this scene, I actually read it with my wife uh, for my self tape, and I felt like it was me. My son Adrian just graduated from Princeton University 3 weeks
Congrats.
ago.
Mine
Um,
graduated from University at Buffalo.
oh, congratulations! So you know the
Thanks.
pride that you feel when that happens, right? So Anna wants to graduate from. She wants to go to Columbia. Our son went to Princeton. I have a 12-year-old daughter. Um, so and I've been married for almost 16 years. So you know, I
Congrats.
related so much to who this man was, wanting the best for the family, hard worker, and he just wants everybody to be happy. So I
And
automatically, connected to the piece.
it's funny that you mentioned that because you're playing this key role in a show that celebrates Latina voices. So, how do you see your character contributing to that mission?
Well, that's very easy to answer. I was raised by a mother single mother. My father, it was in the picture, but unfortunately, my dad was dealt with alcoholism most of his life, so he was in and out of the hospital, and so my mom really was the forefront of my upbringing, and she is a powerful woman, strong woman, Latina from Colombia, and so I value the place of a woman in in this world, and I also happen to be married to an incredible human being, Jennifer Barons. She's an incredible mother, strong woman, who's had to endure a lot of also being an immigrant from Venezuela. So
Mm.
very easy.
I actually I felt that you're it's almost like it's a very deep rooted love. I could tell. I could
Uh,
feel it.
I
Thank you for
you know,
sharing that.
oh, thank you. I love them so much, and I am very much a product of these two human beings because the mother,
Mm.
with just raised us, and then to have a wife like mine that lifts me up and I can lift
Oh
her up
my
and we're
god.
in this journey together is an amazing thing. It really is.
Well, I wish you continued blessings.
Thank you.
It's something that we all hope to have. So, I love it. I love hearing about it.
Thank you.
So, in an interview with Alicia Menendez on MSNBC, director Sergio Trujillo,
Correct.
he shared that the mission behind Real Women Have Curves wasn't political, but it's hard for us to ignore how timely and emotional the immigrant story feels right now. For you, what's the deeper message this show delivers, and why do you think audiences are so moved by it today? It's really relevant.
Well, because it deals with a family, right? It's a family story, and it honestly could be any family on stage being portrayed. It's the love, it's the dedication that this family has for each other, and it truly, I mean, that's really what the sense of the story is. It's this the
Mhm.
Garcia family, and this foursome is what I call them in this, and wanting to live the American dream. And that's it.
Mm.
And it really truly is just they're living and just trying to live the American dream. And that's what we're asking for, right? That's all
Yes.
we're asking for, to be treated fairly, to be given the same opportunities, the same chances, to just have a good life. That's it.
And we all deserve that as
That's
human
it.
beings. We
That's
deserve a
it.
good
Just as
life.
human beings.
100%.
Correct.
So the show is about identity, which we spoke about a little bit, immigration, and empowerment. How have audiences been responding that you know of? And what has it meant for you personally as a Latino, as a man, as a family man?
For me, it as if well, I'll speak for first as a family man. That I get to have my children see me be on Broadway. We've taught them to never give up. We always say at the house, never give up. With my brothers, we say never surrender. We've, you know, we've really, this is, an industry that is a very difficult industry, and you have to have tough skin. And they've
All
seen
those
us.
rejections, I have to tell
Correct.
you, I'm a creative and you get more no's than yeses, and it's
Absolutely.
hard. Like
Correct.
I don't know if you've gone through this. I don't mean to deviate, but
No.
sometimes and I don't want to say sometimes. I think it's a lot of times you want to give up.
Oh, absolutely. 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 But there's this thing that just
Es solo
drives you.
Latino. It's just like we're fighters, I think, by
That's it.
nature.
That's it. I see my life as a boxer. You get hit, you get up, you get hit, you get up, right? And there's
Sometimes it's hard to get
the give
up.
up round, right? Is the you start counting one, two, three, and then you get to six. No, I'm not going to do it, and then you get up and you keep going. So with them, they get an example with me and my wife that we just got to work hard for whatever it is that you
Mhm.
want. You got to keep working hard, never give up, have patience, have faith, keep working on yourself, you know,
That
and
inner work, right?
correct. The impact when it comes to what we're doing is, you know, we as a community right now, as Latinos in this industry, anytime that shows like a show that like Real Women Have Curves happens, and that it's on Broadway, and that or whatever have a big break on television that has Latino themes, we sort of become ambassadors for those
Mhm.
because they're one off, maybe things that don't ever happen. So I feel a lot of pride to be a part of something that I know it's history because now they can't take, even if we end June 29th, right? We've done 73, 75 shows so far. That will never be taken away from us. That's already a stamp that another Latino Broadway show happened. There's another one a couple of blocks from us, Buena Vista, that is happening. Two historic
Yes.
Latino shows on Broadway at the same time. That's already it's there, so that can never take been take will be taken away from us, and I feel a lot of pride. And to come and see the people when we go outside and sign autographs, it truly you feel the gratitude that they feel for this.
There's you feel seen. That's
They feel
it.
seen. You know,
Mhm.
they feel seen, and that's really a great way to say it, Yvette. They feel seen, and
It's
that is a
powerful.
beautiful thing.
It
My
is.
whole
It's powerful.
career, I feel like I've been an ambassador because my first big series was called Resurrection Boulevard. It was the first of its kind for Showtime, a Latino family, boxing family in East LA. That was sort of a catalyst. So I've been part of really important things in my career. I might have never, everything that I've done, it feels important to me, and I've sort of left a stamp in everything that I do.
Well, I hear there are standing ovations every night. So you are doing something right. You all are because it's an amazing cast. So, as a Latino actor who's thrived in both television and theater, congratulations.
Thank you.
What does it mean for you to be part of a production that honors our community, especially on Broadway, which you mentioned, it's you and Buena Vista right now.
Yeah.
Sadly, we have been around for I don't know how long, but it's only 2. So you're one of those 2. What does it mean to you?
Well, I go back and I actually do this the sort of the story, and I backtrack. What's the last show that was done was On Your Feet, and that
I
was
went
10
to
years
see
ago.
that. I took my daughter, she was
Yeah,
much younger,
yeah.
obviously. That
That
was
was
it
yeah,
it
10
really
years ago.
it
Before that, and then we had In the
yeah.
Heights, and
Yes.
but I mean, people forget there was Zoot Suit way back,
I don't remember that.
with Eddie Olmos. I mean, there's a lot. There's
Oh,
Cape
wow,
Fear
yes.
with Mark Anthony. So there
Yes.
have been, but they go in blocks, right? There's like one will be done, and then 10 years will go by, and then the next one is done, and so from what I understand, On Your Feet was the last sort of Latino themed musical on Broadway, and now there's two.
I
So
love it.
hopefully,
We need more.
Buena Vista will, would have been great to be able to sell out our show every night because I'll tell you this: this is a magnificent cast of Latino women, badass, talented, strong, independent women on that stage, and this the if people are saying that there's not enough Latino talent out there, come see the show and you will know that there's enough Latino talent out there to be working. And it's an amazing experience. I get to listen to these women. I get to watch them on stage. Um, it's an incredible moment in time for me in my career. I know that it's going to be a sad moment for us, all of us, to end. But we also understand that things must come to an end at some point, and
True.
and we're just grateful, eternally grateful that
And
we've made an impact in the community right now.
like you said, it can't be taken away from you.
No,
So, from us.
that's it.
So your resume reads like a tour through Hollywood, literally. From The Last Man on Earth, NCIS, The Oval, Resurrection Boulevard. How has your Latinidad shaped the roles you've taken or the ones you've turned down?
I've never turned anything down, and I'll tell you why. Because I got to work, and I got to, you got to make a living, and I got to take care of my kids. I want to be able to give them the best. I wish that there were times that I could turn things down, that I read the script and I go,
Mm.
I don't want to do
Especially
this.
those stereotypes, right?
Yeah,
Those are hard.
it's hard sometimes to do them because you know
Mhm.
that they're going against everything that the community is fighting
Mhm.
not to have, right? So, but I have to make a living. So I look what I go, how can I make this person three-dimensional and give them something different and try to find something to do it to make it worth my soul and my time. So so I've never turned anything down.
Okay.
Work is work and work begets work. That's my um, philosophy. Um, I've been at this professionally now since the early 92, professionally making money at it. I've been performing since I'm a kid because my mom had my brothers and I dancing and singing since we were kids. So I've been doing this for a very, very long time. I I I never came into the industry wanting to be classified as a Latino actor, right? But that's what I am. That's how, I've always wanted to be the people that I looked up to that sort of mentored me through my career. He doesn't know this. The late Raúl Julia
Oh,
was a
wow.
huge impact in the way I've decided to make my career, which was based on watching him do theater, classical theater. My degree is in Shakespeare and classical theater because he did
Wow.
classics. He also did musical theater. He was an avid Broadway actor, then went to do films.
He was amazing.
He was an amazing. So I sort of looked at him as sort of like, okay, that's the kind of career I want to be able to follow, and that's what I've done through my life is sort of not mimic, but he inspired the kind of career that I have, and now I can look at myself as being Latino is a superpower. Speaking Spanish is a superpower. All the things that I used to go, oh God, why do they
Mhm.
have to see me? I just want to be seen just as an actor. All of it now, everything is my superpower. It's the thing that makes me who I am and what I can bring um, to the directors and to the
It
producers.
it sounds like you've done your share of inner work.
A lot.
It's never ending, right? It never
It's never,
stops.
I follow Tony Robbins. I don't.
I know who he is.
I follow him. I've been following him for years. And yes, I do a lot of. I believe that we have to do inner work. Um,
For me, it's Jay Shetty.
oh, he's amazing. He actually spoke at our kids.
He's
Um,
on my wish
at my
list.
boys. Yeah, Jay spoke
Ah,
at the Princeton graduation.
I saw a clip of that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was sitting
wow.
right there in the audience, and I follow him too. I follow.
I went to see him I think it was last year. He was in New York. He was in New York again this year, but I went to see him when he had that book, The Book of Love. Um, but he's powerful. His
Yep,
story is so powerful.
powerful, powerful. Him and his
Love
wife.
that. Yes.
You know, actually, my wife and I actually started during COVID a podcast ourselves called
Ah,
1111 Conversations with Jen and Mao, and
1111.
it was kind of like what Jay and his wife do when they get together and then they banter about marriage and love, and
Oh, I love that.
it's really cool.
Oh, I have to check that out then. Okay. So, as a man in a story that celebrates women's voices and bodies, what truth did you have to confront while stepping into this role, and how has it changed you?
Well, I didn't have to confront it because it was always there. For me, is, um, they always say, behind every good man is a good woman. I
Mm,
believe that behind every woman is a man trying to be a better man,
I love
right?
that. I
And
love that.
for me, it's I love the presence of women. I love the power that they have. I love what they bring. I mean, we listen. We need women in the world. We just,
You are a
you
smart
guys,
man.
you guys get it. You guys get it much faster than we do. You guys have a secret dose that you guys get more than men do, and I can say that. I can say that because I've experienced it. You know, I have
Your
my
wife
mom
must be
is the
amazing.
queen bee in our family. She's the queen bee.
I love that.
And what was the second question? I think I missed the second question.
How has it changed you, this experience?
Well, really, that anything is possible, even when
Mm.
anything is possible. I went to a musical theater program and I got my graduate, and I had just sort of put this dream aside because I started really wanted to create content as a producer with my wife. So I had sort of, I do theater once in a while. It feeds my soul. And I kept doing it once in a blue moon. I would do a musical or a play, but I had put the Broadway thing away. I really
Wow.
had. So the universe had different plans for me. It really did. This
Wow.
just came out of nowhere.
Really?
Out of nowhere. I had no expectation of being on Broadway, and it sort of went like, "Hey, remember that dream that you had when you're it's coming back because you're deserving of it." And that's the thing, is that I every single time I'm on stage, I realize that all the work that I've done emotionally, with my self-worth, my enoughness, my being capable,
Oh
reminding
man,
myself,
you're gonna have to come back and have this
yeah,
conversation
yeah,
because I want to know.
yeah, it's
You know that I've done close to 150 episodes now, and I used to work for Be Latina News and interview there, and so I've talked to a lot of people. It's very rare to find men who will talk about self-worth, self-love. Not that they won't, but I think it's a lot more difficult for men to talk about it,
absolutely.
and it might just be because of lack of awareness, the way you were raised, the way society looks at men. But I love the fact that you mentioned that. I love this. I love
Oh,
this.
thank
I
you.
could keep you here all day talking about that.
Thank you
Cause
so much. I appreciate it.
but I know I have to let you go. So I'm going to ask, looking ahead, looking forward, what kind of stories do you feel still need to be told in our community? And how do you hope to be part of that change? And it sounds like you are already working on that.
Yes, I'll tell you, 2012, uh, my wife and I decided to embark in making a difference in our community by creating our own content. We want to make films that influence, that educate. But what I believe we have to do is start creating, as Latinos, creating our content where it's just we just happen to be Latino. We're just tell the story, tell a good story, and we just happen to be Latinos. That's it. We don't have to hit it, you know. I've embarked in that for now for 13 years. Our next film is called Her Choices. It's in post right now, and that movie is about learning to forgive your parents.
Wow.
Sometimes we hold grudges, and we have to understand that people are doing the best that they can with the tools that they have, right? That's
That was
something that
part of my
Tony
inner
talks
work.
about,
Yeah.
and learning to forgive. And so that film is about that. That's really what we want to be. We want to be that in this industry. We want to be catalysts in that world. There's a niche for everybody, and our niche is to make movies that influence, that tell our Latino stories, um, by just saying that we are just like everybody else. We just happen to be Latinos telling these stories. So, and that's the influence and the impact that I want, that my wife and I want to have in the future in this industry.
I love that. Well, you and your wife are welcome to come back and tell us all about the movie when
Gracias.
it's done.
Thank you.
So, Mauricio, can you just tell us how we can, first of all, thank you. This conversation made my day. It inspired me. It reminded me that the inner work, the manifestations, all the work that I'm doing is is for a reason. So, thank you for giving me that gift today. I
Oh, thank you so
appreciate
much.
you.
I appreciate it.
And share with our listeners how we can get tickets, how we can learn more about you and what you're doing.
Well, we close on the 29th, so start calling today because those tickets are going to go really fast. Ticketmaster. I know that if you look it up on Facebook, there's a code that will get you cheaper tickets. You can find me on Facebook, Mauricio Mendoza. On Instagram, you'll find me as Mauricio Mendoza Official. Look us up at trueformfilms.com and you'll find us. You'll find me.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. You remind us that standing in your faith, whether on Broadway, in life, takes courage, compassion, and character. Real women have curves, may center women, but today's conversation proves that men show up to listen, support, and evolve. The whole community wins when you do that. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much for this
Thank
gift
you,
today.
Yvette. Thank you so much for your time. Really.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And thank you, loves, for joining us on this episode of the AW Confidential Podcast. Talk to you soon.